right, we're gonna get on this thing. All right, here we go. Oh. Hi everybody, Jim from County Corvette here. I have a 2004 Corvette Coupe for sale. I sold this car about 12 years ago to its owner that I just bought it back from. And it was a one-owner car then. It's now a two-owner car. Spotless Carfax, 12,520 original miles. The car is bone stock, with the exception of a new battery, which was put in. That's probably the third or fourth battery, but it is a gel type. The oil was just done on it when I got it. We flushed the brake and a couple other little things, but it's funny because as I'm looking at this car, now I bought this car, and I did look at it before I bought it back. It hasn't been detailed. When we photographed this car, it was actually in the photo studio, and this thing hasn't been touched since it went through the process. And I can tell the difference between a car that's been detailed by us, but sometimes the photographer here might not. And there's still a couple bugs on the front bumper cover, but that's how nice this thing is. The car was meticulously kept. It's no paint work on this car. It's got the original Eagle tires on it, the Goodyears. They're going to need to be replaced because they're going to be hard as a rock. So I'm going to throw a new set of tires in this, but it is the kind of thing. It's really nice to have the original tires on the car because you can see how the alignment was. I mean, these things are, it looks to be 8, 9, 30 seconds on these tires. Same thing in the back. They've never spun. So nice to see that condition. It's two tops, a painted top, a clear top. It is an automatic. Very nicely optioned head-up display, dual zone air, dual sports seats, and a Z51 as well. I believe these are the chrome wheels. They came in polished and chrome. I believe they're the chrome. Again, it hasn't been detailed, so it's there's a little bit of dirt in there. But anyway, so this car needs one thing, and that's tires, which I'm going to throw in. I'm not going to go into the detail of the history of the 2000 Corvette like a lot of dealers do. It's just about condition, and this thing's really, it's a true 12,000 mile car that was never punished, never beat up, never driven hard. There's one flaw on this car, and that's at the top of the door. The seatbelt got caught in it, I presume. If I didn't tell you about it, you probably wouldn't notice it, but that's not how I do things. So, at this point, I can tell you that's not something I would want to touch, but I'd be remiss not to tell you that is literally the only flaw on this car. If that's a deal breaker for you, I get it, but that's it. This car is as nice as they come, and they're hard to find with 12,000 miles. So it's a great car. It's priced very aggressively. The prices on these cars are nuts. I mean, I was at a friend's place, another mutual dealer, good friend of mine. He's got a C5, a couple years older than this, with more mileage, and is in the mid-30s on that car. So this thing's well into the mid-20s, and like I said, new tires come with it, mounted and balanced, or just included, or whatever you want to work out. This car should have tires. I can't even pass it for Pennsylvania State inspection with tires this old, and I know they're going to be noisy and hard as a rock. Condition-wise, there's no cracks or anything, but that's just the way it goes. So anyway, we'll take it for a ride. But I've driven the car. It's really a sweetheart, and I think you'll find it is as well. So if you like the color combination, you like the options, take a good look at it. You're not going to find a better one out there in the marketplace. I can promise you they're just not out there. So give us a call, and let's take this thing for a ride. Okay, this thing is getting warmed up. Now, when I got in this car, I didn't mention while I was just going through it how nice the interior was, so I want to just give you a little sense of that. The side bolster on the driver's seat looks like it was never sat in, so that is one wear point. Even on super low mileage cars, we can see that from time to time. But this one's perfect. No wear on the steering wheel. You know, no ring marks. A lot of times, guys, gals will have big, heavy rings, and they'll get all, these areas will get all scratched up, and none of that here. The clear top is perfect too. This car never sat outside. As these tops get older, sometimes they'll break down, and you'll see what's called, you know, appears to be spider webbing. This has none of that. The tires are just terrible in terms of road noise. These tires, you know, were always a little noisy, even when these cars were new. This thing sounds like a Freightliner. No offense to those who love their Freightliners, but it's loud. It needs tires. It needs a good set of Michelins, or some of the comparable tires we're using out there now, and just something new. This is a 17-year-old rubber, and it's just time. But you save these tires. You put these in plastic bags and keep them on a shelf and move them from one place in the garage to another, then to the next house, then the next house, and then in 20 years, you can sell this car and say, you know, I kept the original tires like the guy I bought it from told me to. And people will look at you like you got two heads and say, yeah, why? Well, it's only original once. Anyway, now I joke. You throw them in the trash for all I care, but when you have original parts, you save them. It's just smart. The car's only, you know, got one set of original front tires, or I'm sorry, tires, and this one, you know, all four are in great shape. So, just kind of cool. Something to think about. So that's that. But yeah, the car really drives nice. There's no vibrations in it or anything. Just a sweetheart. Everything works like it should. You don't need a sales pitch from me. This is just a nice low mileage car. I remember in the 80s, after the stock market crash. All right, we're gonna get on this thing. All right, here we go. Oh. Okay, so I kicked it down a little bit, and it went right up to 6,000. I actually spun the tires where the traction control kicked in here when it did kick down. So yeah, this thing operates perfectly. This car has not been used a lot, but it was driven enough to keep everything moving as it you know, needs to be. You don't want to buy a car that's just sat, hasn't been driven at all for 10 plus years, but this one's nice. So anyway, you know, with inflation where it's at, we're again seeing some crazy stuff happening. Like we did in the 80s, you know, the prices of cars just went up and never really came down. And I'm afraid that's, you know, where things are going to be. I can't predict the future, but I can, you know, definitely tell you when the M1 goes up by a multiple of 3, you're going to get inflation. And I think, I don't think these cars are going to be sub 20 again, nice ones, and that's just what it is. So anyway, with prices where they're at, it's just going to be hard to duplicate, you know, moving forward these buys. I mean, look at the 2016 up Z06s. I mean, my gosh, they're $100,000 for some nice ones out there, and people are getting it, which, you know, you think it's crazy, but it is what it is. So you just have more money chasing fewer goods, because the cars are getting, you know, a day older every day, and more mileage and more time, and a front engine Corvette isn't, you know, a thing of the past. So who knows where these things will be in 10 years, 20 years. You know, if you like these colors and you're, you know, shopping for a coupe, this is a great car for the money. So give us a call, stop by, send us an email, and we'll work out something for you. If you got trades, we'll be happy to talk about it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. We do a video on every car we sell, and always more coming. Thanks for watching.